I don't know what the street's coming to.
To be fair, Mr. Sugden, Natalie Horrocks doesn't live in this street.
Sally Webster does, and Mrs. Horrocks got a business here.
Well, I think it was all very unfortunate.
Get stuck in, there's plenty left. Have you enjoyed it so far?
It's been wonderful. I hardly know what to expect next.
Expect the best. That's what you'll get from me as far as I'm able.
Do you know, I am overwhelmed you've bought this house. I can't believe it.
Anything for you, my love?
Fred, my mother's a bit worried, and so is Ashley.
What are they worried about?
Well, Ashley's worried that he won't have anywhere to live when you sell yours.
I'll help him find somewhere. Don't fret. I won't see him out on street.
But what about my mother? She can hardly manage, can she, without a bedroom downstairs?
But she won't have to, will she?
But there's nowhere down here that can be converted, is there?
Well, she's got her own house. She won't want to live with us.
What do you mean?
See, I'm not the sort of chap who expects a woman of your mother's age to up sticks and move house. This place is just for the two of us, not her.
So you don't want Mother?
I do want Mother, but at a distance, same as she wants me. This place is ideal for both of us. I mean, it's no use for an old lady in a wheelchair, is it?
No, it isn't.
And that's no bad thing. It's about time you cut the apron strings. She'll be perfectly happy on her own. She'll have meals on wheels and social services. She won't have need of you anymore. Say, look at her.
Coronation Street is sponsored by Cadbury's Milk Tray.
In 1994, non-smoker Roy Castle lost his battle against lung cancer.
He said it should not happen to people like you, but it has.
His last days were dedicated to raising funds for the world's first lung cancer research unit. Network First for the Love of Roy, Tuesday, 10:40.
Wales Tonight brings you the top stories every night.
Tomorrow we visit the quiet hilltop that has become the first permanent memorial to the Princess of Wales.
That's Tuesday's Wales Tonight, tomorrow night at 6:30.
Is the environmental cost of oil too great? World in Action reports next.
Pantene Flexible gives superb hold without stickiness. No wonder it's won Best New Hair Care Product in Superdrug's Beauty Awards.
In the all-new mini-serial, Cone's Hotline,
Cone down!
Jack Dempster is walking a tightrope.
Dempster, I need you in the field.
But Chief, I'm not going anywhere until I've had my Fruitibix. Crunchy whole wheat with fruit and nuts and a spoon-sized biscuit.
Son, that's an order.
Sir.
This was no accident.
Is this the end of the road, or can Dempster hang on to his Fruitibix? Fruitibix, the all-new mini-serial.
Remind me, Mo, is this high in polyunsaturates or low in polyunsaturates?
Polly what?
Flora. Buy one, get one free.
Not since fluoride toothpaste has there been an advance like Colgate Total. It protects not just against cavities, but also against bacteria that cause plaque, tartar, and gum disease. It's the only toothpaste with an antibacterial shield that protects teeth and gums for 12 hours. Colgate Total, the one with the 12-hour shield.
Ad men are always on at me to liven up my advertisements for John Smith's Extra Smooth Bitter. They don't think it's enough to talk about its extra smooth taste. What we need's a bit of action, Jackie. They just don't get it, do they? Well, I told them straight. No gimmicks, no dancing ladybirds, and definitely no penguins. Just me in a pub with a pint of John Smith's Extra Smooth. Pure silk in a glass. So if this is a bit dull, you can blame me.
Cut it. That was nice, Jack.
So you're going to put the pub background in afterwards?
Yeah, that's right, Jack. Yeah, we're going to put it in later.
A new series of Gwahoddiad. An invitation to listen to male-voiced choirs from all over Wales. On stage. On a ship. From church to hallowed grounds. A feast of music in a new series of Gwahoddiad starts Sunday at 8:30 on S4C.
A noble art.
They were fast, they were hard, they were resilient, they had everything that a champion boxer needs.
At which the Celts excelled.
Look out for the history of boxing in Ireland, Scotland and Wales.
In Celtic Fists, Thursdays 11:15 on HTV.
Now on HTV, how green is my petrol? Weldon Action reports.
Britain's largest company is leading an oil boom deep in the Andes. Tonight, Weldon Action investigates BP and how the company's drive for oil and profit has caused serious environmental damage to a fragile ecosystem. And for the first time, we reveal what happened when insiders warned BP its drilling operations were triggering earthquakes. This summer, we exposed a secret security network of ex-SAS soldiers hired by BP to train controversial Colombian security forces who are at war with left-wing guerrillas. And we revealed how local people who'd spoken out against the oil company were threatened and even killed by pro-government paramilitaries.
This is one of the 3 threats that was received early this morning in El Moro. What it says is that all the people involved in the El Moro Association have 30 days to stop their activities.
But tonight, we challenge BP's green image and ask if the oil company is guilty of environmental double standards. We show how the green oil giant has contaminated a fragile environment and ignored local warnings and laws.
I, David, Lord Simon of Highbury.
BP's former chairman, David Simon, becomes a lord and an influential member of Tony Blair's government. It marks an outstanding year for BP, whose share price and profits are up. Both BP and the government promised their concern for the environment would be reflected in their actions. But 300 miles off the Scottish mainland, these promises are being challenged by Greenpeace. Here in the Atlantic frontier, BP and other oil companies have been awarded government licenses to explore in an environmentally sensitive area.
Today, a judge ordered Greenpeace to stop disrupting BP's work, and the oil company later offered to drop the compensation claim if that order was obeyed.
We have no intention or desire to bankrupt Greenpeace. We're simply looking for ways to make them stop their unlawful actions.
Greenpeace says the Atlantic operation exposes the hypocrisy behind BP's green image.
Well, I think you've got to judge them on their actions, BP and the other oil companies. Well, they say they want to have no impact on the environment, but it's impossible to explore for oil in pristine frontier areas like the Atlantic, like the Arctic, and other areas around the world without having a serious environmental impact.
Thousands of miles away in the new frontier of eastern Colombia, BP is exploring in another fragile ecosystem. This £25 billion oil field is crucial to BP's success and reputation. The oil giant intends to stay in Colombia for the next 30 years to exploit this huge find.
This discovery here in Colombia is part of, and has formed part of our strategy to replace the reserves from the declining production in Alaska and the North Sea, and our strategy has always been to build, shall we say, a third leg to the significant production that we have. So it has been a successful part of our strategy.
BP's arrival in Colombia coincided with the redesign of its famous shield to emphasize the colour green. Customers cannot escape this green makeover. BP also underlines this with a declaration of its global principles.
Our goals are no accidents, no harm to people and no damage to the environment.
The standards that we set in Colombia are exactly the same standards that we set anywhere else in the world. In fact, the standards that we adhere to in Colombia are greater than the legal norm. I am judged, part of my salary actually depends on our environmental performance. Over 50% of my bonus is judged on how we do, and it affects everybody in the company as well.
World in Action went to Colombia to test BP's claims and examine the prospects for Mr. Mead's green Christmas bonus. BP has invested much time and money emphasizing its green intentions for the oil region of Casanare. Key Colombian officials and politicians have been entertained and educated in Britain at BP's expense. However, not all are convinced.
La EP puede ser buen vecino. Yo considero de que si la BP mantuviera los estándares.
I think that if BP were to maintain the same environmental and social standards it has in London, for example over oil spills and contamination, it would be a good neighbour.
De exploración, de operación, de derramamiento de crudo, de contaminación, etc.
At the moment, I can't say that they are a good neighbour.
Got plenty to look forward to.